All right, welcome everybody. This is Meet This Firm, a video series of the top accounting employers in the United States, and it's all for you, high-performing accounting students and professionals around the U.S. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jeff Phillips with Accounting Fly. So really excited to have our conversation today. We're going to be talking with Vanessa Rossitto with BlumShapiro. So if you're not familiar with BlumShapiro, it's the largest firm based in the New England area and one of the fastest growing firms in the United States. And it's an exciting place to be. And I hope that we're able to convey some of the great opportunities here at BlumShapiro today on the call. So as we get started, Vanessa, first of all, welcome and thank you for being a part of this today.
Thank you for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, Vanessa, before I ask some questions about BlumShapiro.
Sure. So I actually started my career at BlumShapiro 23 years ago. I was hired right out of college, went through the internal recruiting process in October, got a job, started January 6th, not knowing what I was getting myself into, but 23 years later, I'm here still. Yeah.
And tell us about what you focus on and your day-to-day career aspect.
Sure. So my specialty is audits of municipalities. Connecticut has 169 municipalities. We audit about 60 of them, and we also have 3 clients in Rhode Island.
Fantastic. So you work in the audit of city governments then, in
That's right.
other words.
State and local governments. Yep.
Governments. Fantastic. And I know that's a key position that BlumShapiro is looking to hire, I guess, on your team. Is that right?
Yes, it's a very much growing area of the firm, not only in the audit area, but also in consulting. We're trying to grow into Rhode Island, eventually Massachusetts, so we're in need of some experienced accountants.
Vanessa, BlumShapiro has offices in what states?
In Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island.
Okay, so covers the Northeast,
Right.
and BlumShapiro is probably, I'm guessing, hiring for a lot of different positions around tax accounting, experienced, entry level, and intern across the board. Is that right?
Yes, we're always hiring. We're always looking for people with experience. We do a lot of college recruiting, and we're growing. So we're always looking for great people.
Fantastic. So you mentioned earlier you've been at the firm and spent your entire professional career there. I imagine at different times you were contacted by headhunters. You probably could have left at any point in time. What is it about BlumShapiro that's kept you there for your entire career?
Yep. I mean, it's something different every day. The stereotype of an accountant is you come in and you sit in your desk and it's the same thing day after day, but it's really not. I mean, no 2 days are the same. And before you know it, you're here a year, you're here 5 years, you're here 23 years. So I really enjoy going out to see my clients, the different things that I do every day, interacting with the staff, doing recruiting. It's really kept me interested for that long.
So clearly you've been a high performer. I want to talk about somebody who's probably in the early part of their career.
Yeah.
What does a career look like for a high performer at BlumShapiro, and what can they expect if they are really effective working at your firm?
So when we hire people from college or experienced kids, we really want them to stay. We don't want to just fill the need for the bodies to do the work. We want them to be a partner. We do everything we can to help them in their career, so high performers really can be a partner one day. I think the normal time is 10 to 15 years you could be a partner at BlumShapiro. Granted, you have to have the right industry focus, there has to be a need, but in most cases, if we have a high performer, they're going to make that mark.
Cool. You mentioned that BlumShapiro does a lot to help people along their career, and I'm curious if you have any examples in mind that you could tell us. Just how do you help people along in their career?
So when they start here, they have 2 people that help them really, or actually more than that, but there's a buddy, so somebody that has been here maybe 6 months longer than them. They could ask any type of question to, and any stupid question. There's a career advisor that meets with them periodically during the year, and our HR department really keeps in contact with them to make sure that their workload is good. It's not too stressful, but they're being kept challenged during the year.
Right. And so I imagine that applies to a entry-level grad.
Yeah.
Does it apply to like a young career, someone like 3 to 5 years experience as well?
Yeah, everybody. Anybody that starts here has those two, main people, and the HR department. I'm also on the personnel committee, the audit partner personnel committee, so I'm involved in those discussions. We meet a couple times a year to discuss performance and raises and bonuses and all that.
That's great. Is there any training opportunities available for your young professionals?
Industry training?
Yeah,
Yeah.
technical, industry, business
Yep.
development, whatever.
Yeah, we have training. Most of our training for the new hires and for the younger staff is in-house training. So we have quarterly A&A updates in the audit department. I'm sure the tax department has updates also. There's various industry trainings on just the basics of each industry that the staff are going to be working in. And then as you progress in your career, you'll go to outside training from the AICPA or, to get information from the people that are promulgating the standards.
So there's a lot of opportunity to learn and grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that leads us into the next question, which is so many people that we interact with are at the Big Four. Obviously, a lot of people start their career there.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people go into private industry after a short stint in public accounting.
Yeah.
But why work at BlumShapiro as opposed to go into private accounting or go to the Big Four?
So I'll discuss the private accounting first. I think it's really neat to start in public accounting with 20 people your own age. There's nothing like it. It's like an extension of college. And there's great friendships and teamwork that develop from that group of people. If you go into private industry, a lot of times you're in a department with people that are older than you. You might not have a lot in common with them. So I just think it's a more dynamic atmosphere. And as far as the Big Four, BlumShapiro compared to the Big Four, I think we give our staff more real experience. They're doing a lot more accounting work, less clerical work. They're working on a number of different industries. When our audit staff start, we want to make sure that they see each industry that Blum has. They might not see everyone, but at least 80 or 90% of them. So then they could start to specialize when they move up. Even our interns, go out to clients and they do real accounting work. So it's a neat experience for them.
I've always been intrigued by people who start out in public accounting and they want to test the waters, right, and go see what life is like on the other side of private. And then we hear stories of people who leave public to go to private and they come right back because it wasn't for them.
Right.
And what I always hear in common is like once they made it to partner and they see what a great opportunity that was to lead in a great big market firm like BlumShapiro, they look back and say, this was worth it. This was worth the work I put in, and I'm sure you guys have examples like that as well.
Yeah. I mean, there have been people that left and have come back, and there have been people that left and stayed. And public isn't for everybody, but it's a great career. I mean, it's, to me, it's like having my own business, but not with the not me having to manage everything. I have my own clients. Even when you're a senior accountant, you could say you have your own clients. It's pretty cool. But it's very autonomous. I make my own schedule, obviously. I love going out to see my clients. Obviously I'm in the office more now because I'm a partner and there's more administrative things to do, but it's really a cool career. It has been a cool career.
How would you describe the culture at BlumShapiro?
I think it's very, when I started at Bloom, there was 80, 100 people. Now there's over 400 people. To me, it's basically the same firm. It's a very small firm culture. People talk to each other. They're very nice to each other. There's open door policy. There's staff coming into my office, to every partner's office, really. Um, I just think it's kind of the best of both worlds.
So it's remained true to some of the core values from the beginning, but it's moving forward and moving into the future.
Yeah, I mean, I think we keep hiring people like ourselves, so the culture seems to keep repeating itself, which is a good thing. The managing partner, Carl Johnson, has done a great job with that. Back in the day, he used to know each person's name, and I still think he tries to do that. It's been a little tougher, obviously, with the mergers and the growth, but he does a really good job.
So Vanessa, you work in the auditing, the municipality auditing group. That's your team, and I know that you are looking to fill a key role in that team.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little about what that open position is?
So it would be, an in-charge accountant running the audits out in the field of various Connecticut municipalities and or Rhode Island municipalities. Obviously, that's only half of the year because the year ends are June 30th, so I'm sure the person would have other industry experience that would fill up the rest of their year. But we're looking for somebody that will stay with the department and grow with the firm too.
It sounds like it sounds like a leadership opportunity within the team,
Absolutely.
and there's a lot of growth opportunity.
Yeah, yeah. And we haven't broken into the Massachusetts market, into the Massachusetts municipal market. We're looking to do that, so we're looking for people to help us with that too.
Where do you want this person to be located?
Anywhere.
Anywhere in your offices in the New England region.
Yep, Connecticut.
And what kind of experience are we talking about? How many years?
3 to 5 years of experience.
Okay.
Yep.
And does that 3 to 5 years of experience need to be in governmental accounting?
They should have some government accounting experience, absolutely.
Fantastic.
Yep.
And I know that's a key position. Do you guys have other positions that are open right now that we need to tell our members about?
Yeah, there's always open positions. We're always looking for great people. We really have a need for the senior position, the 3 to 5 year position. The tax department is really growing too. There's a lot of need in that department too for all levels, really.
Okay, so let's talk about flexibility, because I think there's a bad myth out there about public accounting flexibility. And we were talking about this earlier. And what are your thoughts about flexibility when it comes to public accounting? Maybe at BlumShapiro as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a myth out there. I think public accounting is one of the most flexible industries. I mean, if you go to private, you're there from 9 to 5, and then monthly close or quarterly close, you're working late. So, my motto is, as long as you're getting the work done. I don't care if you're working from home, working from the office. I've had staff work from Panera Bread, working, obviously we're out in the field a lot at clients. We do have flexible schedules, so there are some, rules around how much you can work at home and in the office. But, sometimes if I have a big project to do or something really tough to figure out or what have you, if I'm home or if I'm in a quiet office on a Saturday or something like that, it's much better for me. We do work weekends. The tax department works weekends, but a lot of times it's at home. Sometimes it's nice to all come in on a Saturday during our busy season to kind of connect and talk the old-fashioned way. But I think it's a really flexible.
That's fantastic, and that's important to every job seeker that we come into contact with. Is that is a hot button issue. I'm glad to know where you guys fall on it, because it's important to offer that. All right, last question, Vanessa.
Sure.
And let's say you are talking with a CPA, 3 to 5 years of experience. Maybe they're at the Big Four,
Yep.
thinking about making a career change and they're looking for a job.
Okay.
What advice would you give them?
So I would tell them to do their research. They might not like the Big Four, or they're in a small firm and that's not right for them. Just kind of do their research. Maybe a firm like BlumShapiro is a good place for them to go. Um, I think there's a lot of options out there for them.
I think there are too, and I think that's great advice. You have to understand um, that you should look at the opportunities, especially in the mid-market, because partnership track at a firm like BlumShapiro is a phenomenal economic opportunity at a company with a great culture, and we got to make sure people that are high performers understand that.
I totally agree.
So next actions for people who are watching the video, the governmental accounting position is available to apply on Accounting Fly. I
Yep.
know you can learn more at BlumShapiro's website, which we're offering a link to on this video. Um, and hopefully people will watch it, get excited about BlumShapiro, and apply. So Vanessa, thank you for being a part of this today, for telling the country about BlumShapiro, what makes the largest firm in the New England region such a great place to work, and best of luck to you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.